Coach, have they changed their focus to Baylor as fast as you would have hoped?
I don't, be honest, I don't know. We didn't practice yesterday, out recruiting, and just I texted them last night about 10 something. I said 24 hours is over, celebration ends. Refocus on it. I got a lot of comments back from the guys, positive. They know what they have to do, and it's the human nature part that we talked about before Texas A&M. If you're special, you come back and play at a high level. If you're normal and average, you're not ready to play. So I think it's important. We'll see a little bit today. It was a special game for them. Obviously, the seniors, and they hadn't won. It was a good game, hard-fought game, physical game, and they were giddy. You could, at the end, I was trying to calm them down a little bit, and now we got to get refocused on it. But you're in first place by yourself, and 9 games left. But every one is tough, and a lot of things can happen between now and then.
Had a little bit of, a good stretch and a bad stretch there, kind of when KU threw that zone at you. Now you're playing Baylor, a team that's really good at that. How much positivity, I guess, do you take from a good stretch?
Well, to me, it's just attacking. We got to be in attack mode. Second half, we got into the gaps, got the ball inside. We went at them. We made them guard us, and we pushed the ball. In the first half, when they went zone, we were very perimeter orientated. We didn't attack them, and we were way out on passing the ball around the perimeter. And I thought we did a great job against Oklahoma State. All their zones. We did practice against it. We thought we were ready, but we didn't react to it very well. And credit to Kansas. They were pretty aggressive. They were aggressive in it, and they matched up with us and did a good job. Baylor zone, it's different. It's the same zone, but you got different people in the, last whatever. Since I've been here, he's had size and length, and last year they had a lot of big people. So, they were wide and spread, and now it's quick, aggressive, hectic. They're the 3 toughest teams in the league, to me, are them and West Virginia and Texas Tech, physically tough. And they're very aggressive in it. And they've already beaten West Virginia by a big margin there. They beat Texas Tech at home, so they out-toughed the toughest teams. So we got to anticipate a physical, hard-fought game, and then they're coming off a loss, so it's, they're going to be ready to play.
What do you feel is the most underlooked aspect of Baylor's team?
Scott Drew right now, you got to give him a lot of credit. If you had voted, who was Coach of the Year halfway, I think you got to give it to him. He's done a great job of kind of a new lineup, pieced some things in, loses Clark, 16-8 a game, really doesn't have a big guy. And they're, like I said, they're playing very physical, very aggressive. The game they slipped up, Texas last night, but the Kansas game is right after Clark, and I think they had to figure some things out, but they figured it out, and the guys have bought in. And obviously Mason is playing at a high level. But all their guys are just they're just all kind of figuring it out. They're all taking it to you. They're very aggressive. Butler scores. Guys got opportunities. Kind of like us last year. All of a sudden, one guy goes down, and it allows some opportunities, and guys step up and make some plays.
Seems like Mac's been a little bit of a slump the last few games. What's the main thing you're preaching with him?
I think he had a good mindset going into Kansas. He just got fouls, and he got 2 in 2 minutes, and then he got another one, and he just never got any minutes. But I think his mindset was good. But yeah, he knows it. He wants to do well. He didn't practice well for 4 or 5 days in mixing those games, A&M, and Oklahoma State, and now I thought he practiced well before Kansas. We'll see how he is today. We just told him he's got to have a motor. He's got to be aggressive, and he was ready for Lawson. I thought when he did get to play, he was aggressive with them and tried to defend him. He's got a challenge on Saturday because for the most part, they're small ball, and he's going to have to guard a guy that's probably a 3 out on the perimeter some.
How big of a boost is that when he can stay out there for 25?
Well, it sure helps. I mean, he gives you an inside presence. He can block some shots. He can score on the hoop. His rebounding's good. When we're all playing well, Cardi stepped up the last couple games. You got the other guys playing well. Obviously, Mac adds to that mix.
Well, I was saying after the Texas Tech loss, Cardi said that he thought part of the problem was that they went in there expecting to win because of just how A&M had been struggling. Do you think that's where it works in your favor on Saturday's game? Is they know even though Baylor just lost, this is a top level team.
Yeah, it's still a first place game because if we lose, they're tied with us. So, I hope so. And they know, they just not only did they beat Texas Tech and win by 30 against TCU and Oklahoma, they also beat Iowa State and they beat Alabama, who's a really good team. So, again, I kind of joked years ago we made up reports and we didn't tell them all the stuff because they didn't have social media. They didn't know what scores were. You couldn't look on the computer and find a score. You didn't know. So they didn't get the notes from the media, from the sports information guy. So we could hide things. Now you can't hide anything. And, they know more about it a lot of times than we do. So before we do, they're looking. So it's a little different. Times are different, but hopefully we always talk about learning, growing, keep learning from your failures and be ready to play.
How long ago was that you're referring to that you were able to do that with the players where they wouldn't know?
It's till computers and stuff started, and when they were able to get information at their fingertips all the time. But it wasn't we lied to them. We just didn't tell them everything.
I don't know if there one that stands out that you remember where you really maybe built up a team like they had this.
I don't remember exactly, but I did a lot of scouting at Purdue, and you had to kind of, you want to get their attention, so you brought scores up that mattered. You didn't tell them they lost 6 other games by 30 points, so, and they didn't, that at that time it was just different. Information was not there.
So every game was for first place.
Yeah, they didn't know. They did know standings because we had it in our locker room, so we couldn't hide that too much.
I imagine at this point you're probably pretty set on the 8-man rotation with Mike and Cardi and Levi and maybe Sean a little bit. But is there anybody we're not seeing a lot of that's standing out in practice that maybe you wanted to single out or talk?
Well, I think and we thought we were going to use James the other night. Levi did better, but it depends if it's a big group, with size. James is the guy we go to if it's a smaller group, you're probably going to go with Sean or Austin, and we just kind of see what happens, and they got to be ready for their opportunity. That's what's happened with Baylor guys. When they got their opportunity, they're ready to play.
You mentioned Mason and the type of threat he is, but he is a little bit limited with a foot injury. They said last night if he can't go at full speed, how much of an edge does that give you?
Well, we'll see, but Texas they defend pretty well. They got guards that can defend. Hopefully we have that kind of matchup with Barry and X, and guys that take a lot of pride in defending and shutting people down. But he's when you get a guy getting 41 points and what he get at West Virginia, a whole bunch too. But McClure, they're guys like McClure and Vital are really important to them, because they kind of just do everything. They rebound, they crash the glass on offense, they drive that basketball. They're very, very aggressive.
Do you think the target on the team's back is as big as it's been all season, even when you guys were ranked really high?
I'm not sure. I'll be honest. We got a little bit of attention. Cardi did, at least the other night. So, But I hope we've learned and grown from how how to understand expectations and we're down this last stretch of the season. This is the last third of the season. You're down to 10 games, really. That's all you're guaranteed right now.
So the common denominator when you shot the ball well from the last 2 games especially?
I thought it was hot weather, but because it was warm again in Oklahoma State, and we were really good in Virginia or Virgin Islands, but it was cold the other night, and we did make some shots. It's pretty simple. Ball movement, getting it inside out, penetrating, kicking, swinging the basketball, getting open shots, and getting some layups too. Barry makes a layup and then he makes his 3. Just not settling on tough, quick threes. I think that's the biggest thing. I challenged him a couple of weeks ago. This is it. Get in the gym. What are you going to wait for? Put the time in. Barry was here this morning. Barry's here all the time. I think Carty's been in. Even Dean. This is, and those seniors, they're pretty much graduated. They're close. They only have a class or 2, so they have more time.
I know you and some of the assistants were out recruiting the last couple of days. How much did you hear about the game Tuesday night? How many?
I joke with the coaches. My phone. I have 2 phones, and about 12:30, 1 o'clock last night, I almost got through all my thank you returns, on the one phone. I haven't started on the other one. So it's I heard from people that I haven't heard from in years, and it's just so it was and it got some pub too. People turn on SportsCenter late at night. Now you're showing Cartier, you're showing the crowd, you're showing all that stuff. We beat Texas Tech, and they were 13, 15, and 12:30, 1 o'clock, I'm trying to sleep. I turn on SportsCenter. They don't even have the score on the ticker. So it's, but last night they did get some attention.
Anything else for Coach?
I asked the players they didn't think there was any advantage to the fact that you get to see your next 2 opponents play last night. It's a little bit different from a coach's perspective.
Yeah, it's on Longhorn Network, so no one probably got it. I know I didn't get it, so I'm not sure. It's for those guys. You'd be surprised they don't watch as much basketball. Some of you guys asked Cartier the other day, and he said he doesn't have cable, so it's different. It's a different thing. They're going to watch a lot. We'll start watching right now, and over the next 2 days, they're going to see a lot of them. And but for the coaches and that, it helps. You get focused. I've watched. I've watched 1 real late after the game, and then 2 yesterday. So I watch. We watched a little bit of Texas this morning. So I like to watch last year's games too, and so I watched those.
If you look at offensive efficiency numbers since Dean came back, you guys, I believe, by my count, were 4th in the Big 12. How much better do you think your offense is than what the perception out there is of it?
I think I've just talked to guys about keep improving, and but it's not only Dean, it's Cam getting healthy and just more weapons. It spreads the defense. Dean's passing. He does. He draws attention. You saw. I mean, they're coming. And so he plays off of it. And I think the big thing is we've improved passing the basketball, getting the paint, pushing the basketball, getting guys to run, doing some of that stuff.